Well, if you have a teenager, they may be watching the events at the state capitol closely. As soon as tonight, lawmakers could debate a bill that would ban social media for anyone under the age of 18. NBC5's Phil Prazen is here with the details. This is a big one, Phil.
It is. So this social media ban already passed the Texas House and has one major step before it goes to Governor Abbott's desk. That could happen as soon as tonight or possibly tomorrow. House Bill 186 will require major social media companies to verify the age of their users, possibly through submitting a driver's license. It's opposed by NetChoice, the industry group representing Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X. Earlier this month, more than 200 people came to a committee hearing on the bill. Most of them were teenagers against the idea. Now, for the specifics, this will be enforced by the Consumer Protection Division of the Texas Attorney General's office. These companies will have to verify age with a photo ID and will not be able to sell or use the information provided for any other reason other than age verification.
YouTube, what's good with y'all boys, man? It's your boy Cedric Speaks, the legally blind entrepreneur, coming at y'all with another video, man. And before we get into the video, I want to ask you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, as well as drop a comment down below, because this helps the channel grow. All right, y'all, so we got another ban to talk about. All right. Now, if you watched the last video, we talked about a couple things that Texas is in the middle of banning. And those things were corn, women's toys, specifically a Viber. Not gonna say the full word. And tree. All right. So now in this video, we're gonna talk about something else that they're banning, and that is social media for kids under the age of 18. So I got some, or at least I got highlights. So yeah, they're banning social media for kids who are under the age of 18, right? They won't be able to access social media, and in order to access social media, you'll have to, all right, bro. All right. But yeah, in order to access social media, you'll have to verify your age with like ID. Yeah, you'll have to verify your age with ID. You know, platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, heard something about Snapchat about to be gone, but you know, Snapchat, YouTube, all these platforms, like kids are gonna have to provide an ID just to be able to get on there, which, you know, kids don't have, you know, until you're 18, so they won't be getting on. And this is way overdue, but about time, for real, about time, because I remember like years back, I was already thinking, I don't know if kids should just be on social media mixing and mingling with adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already was questioning, like, out of all the crazy stuff that is on the internet, right? Out of all the crazy stuff that's on the internet, how is it that kids are able to, you know, exist in these spaces with grown folks, seeing stuff that they shouldn't even be seeing, like, you know? And a lot of these content creators, man, they're grown-ups, like they're grown. You know, a lot of these content creators that kids watch, they're grown. But yet they target audience is kids, right? A lot of these creators got big off of the views of kids. And I'm not gonna mention no names, but I think, like, you know, if you just really tapped into this social media space and, you know, stream what's going on right now, streamers, and, you know, you know some of the people that I'm talking about. But the problem is that because these people are adults, you know, they kind of blur the lines. It's like, okay, you know that you have a full kids audience, but yet you know that you most of your audience is kids. I know you know because you can check, you know, to see who your audience is. But from time to time, you guys are doing things that kids have no business being a part of, like bringing OF models onto your platforms, or just making all types of sexual jokes, or, you know, drinking, you know, doing all types of stuff that kids should not be watching. But yet and still kids, you know, look out for these people streams every day. They look out for these people videos. But it's just like, you wouldn't, as a parent, you wouldn't just let your kid be around some random stranger every day. Like, you wouldn't just let them be around a random person every day, just following that person, right? In real life, like, you wouldn't allow that. But when it comes to the internet, we let our kids pretty much watch whatever. Like, I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying in general. Like, we let our kids watch whatever, listen to whatever, and yeah, like, it's definitely had I would say a negative effect. And like I said in my last video, when it came to other laws, it's like, come on, like, what took so long? This is well overdue for kids to not be able to get on social media. Like, it's well overdue. You know, it's like, okay, this wasn't, you know, this couldn't have came in place when kids started unaliving themselves because, oh, I'm not getting likes, you know, or I'm getting bullied. I don't get any followers. And, you know, they started unaliving themselves, you know, based on some insecurities and looking at other people and people bullying them because they don't got followers or whatever. They don't get likes. So they unalive themselves. It was like, at that point, we should have been like, all right, we don't know if kids could just handle this mentally. We don't know if this is something that kids can handle mentally. Like, they don't need to be on here, you know. It didn't come into place. The bans didn't come into place when, you know, we realized that, hey, a lot of these social media platforms are actually pretty much corn sites. You know, like if your son or your daughter has if your son or your daughter has a Twitter, they pretty much have a description, a subscription to a corn website. Straight up. They have a subscription to a corn website. So, because, you know, we all know what Twitter, you know, we call it X. We all know what that's about. You know, as well as these other platforms. You can find corn on TikTok now. Like, you know, Instagram, you follow certain people. Yeah, your kid just follows certain people. You know, like y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. You don't have to go to actual corn sites no more to watch corn. So our kids have access to all of this stuff. You know, them running ads, running advertisements to our kids that shouldn't be ran to them. Just all types of stuff, man. Like, you really gotta pay attention to what your kids are watching. You know, you really do. And I know that that's kind of hard because, you know, parents, you know, have so much other stuff going on, you know, in between work and, you know, taking care of your kids and trying to take care of yourself and the world. Just, so I get it. But at the same time, man, just leaving your kids on the internet, just like to fend for themselves, just like, nah, that don't work. I remember one time, I had an ex, my past, my current, well, yeah, my most recent ex. She had 2 kids, and they used to watch like YouTube. You know, kids watch YouTube all the time, and, you know, saw different types of stuff they be watching on there. But the kid, the boy was watching YouTube. Her son was watching YouTube, and I just remember seeing a thing, and the little cartoon was like 6, 6, 6, and I'm like, what the, like, what is that? Like, what? Like, you know, and immediately I made him turn it off, like immediately, because, man, like, these people, you don't know who's making that content, man. You don't know, man. There's some perverts out here that is using social media to get to kids, you know? That's another thing, like, the bans didn't come into place when kids started getting kidnapped, you know, from people that they were meeting on social media. You know, they start getting kidnapped. You know, we start catching all these pedos, talking to them and all of that. Like, we didn't think back then, hey, kids probably don't need to be on here. Like, so, you know, although I like you know, I agree. It's just I just refuse to ever just get on our government side and be like, yeah, like, yeah, no, because the same people who doing these bans are the same people who was cool with it for 20 plus years. Y'all were cool with it. Y'all are cool with it even though y'all seen the negative effects. And now y'all want to step up and act like y'all doing something after all the damage has been done. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it, bro. So that's not really just fooling me to be like, yeah, I'm just on y'all side. Like, nah. Because, yeah, I just don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. You know? But yeah, man. Like, the only thing that I really don't like about the kids being banned from social media is that there are kids on social media that's using it they're using it for like business purposes, right? They're using it for business purposes. These kids got YouTube channels. They got good followings on, they got followings on TikToks. They doing their little TikToks. These kids, a lot of these kids have built something with social media that's going to allow them to, when they do get to adulthood, they already gonna be financially free. I mean, a lot of kids have already done it already. They've already done it. Like, a lot of kids became financially free before they parents off of social media. So I don't know. Like, I personally think, like, if they can find a way to, I don't know, give kids their own servers, or I don't know how that could work. But that's the part that does suck about it, is that kids, we're in a time where kids want YouTube channels, kids want to do podcasts, kids want to do TikToks, kids want to have a business or brand of their own, sell their own products. I would like my daughter to make a YouTube, my daughter and my son to have YouTube channels right now. They both want YouTube channels right now. Only reason they don't is because their moms are just saying out right now, but they both want YouTube channels right now. My daughter wants to do TikToks. So I would love for them both to start doing that. You know what I mean? So that's the part that sucks about it. But it's just way too, it's just way too much access to, kids just have way too much access to adult things on the internet. It's like, yeah, you can put the adult blockers on for corn, when you're searching it up on your browser. But, like I said, you get on Twitter, you get on Twitter, it's all types of stuff that they gonna see, music videos, all types of, so. Yeah, man. It's about that time. It's about that time. It's not from what I know right now, it's a Texas thing, from what I know. I'm sure it may be in other places, but it's a Texas thing. I'm not sure, with a lot of these laws, like until they do happen, and just keep I'll believe it when I see it mindset with it, because you just never know until your kids wake up one day like, Dad, I can't get on my TikTok. I can't get on my YouTube. They saying that I need an ID to verify. And shoot, they might just make it like, if you try to be one of those parents that, oh, well, I'm gonna just use my ID. Okay, your kid get caught being on there, you might go to jail. There's no telling what laws they about to really put in place. There's no telling. And I'm not going to jail just for my kid to be on social media. Like, we'll figure something else. We'll figure something else out. But yet and still, I'm never the type of person to really just believe that it's just gonna work fully. Like, I still believe that somehow, some way, kids is gonna be on social media. But when you putting bans in place, you're just making it harder, not as accessible. So not as many kids is gonna be on it, but we know somebody gonna figure out a way to get through, you know, to get through. But hey, playing with these laws, playing with these the government, playing a dangerous game. So yeah, man, I would like to know what y'all think about the subject. Kids not being able to access social media if they're under the age of 18. I think it's a good thing. I think it's well overdue. But I do think that the ban is much needed because kids don't need to be hanging around adults. Straight up. Kids don't need to just be hanging around a whole bunch of adults that they don't know. You know, you're not gonna drop your kid off at the club and just let them hang there. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna drop your kids off in places where all types of adult topics is being discussed, from S3X to rugs, all types of violence. Like, nah, this not the space for 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Come on, bro. 12-year-olds. Like, this not the space for that. It's not the space. You know, it's not the space. So yeah, that's the video.